Right, we're going to start and we intend to finish. So understand the dynamic of what we're using, right? If you're going to use physical force in the street because you can't avoid and you can't talk it down, the best chance you've got of winning is to go first. The person that goes first with the most will usually come out the best. And that's the way street predators attack in the street. You want to be first, but you can't always be first, so you might fuck up. In which case, if there's some development via a verbal argument and he's potentially unarmed at this moment, there's a good chance when he goes, he will start punching you in the head. Because that's the way most unarmed fights start. Google real fights and people punch, that's what they do. They grab and they punch, or they push you and they punch, or they just start beating on your head. So it's really good if you can understand as a contingency plan how to deal with that. Right, so the idea if this guy's going to kick off, I want to work from a passive position, and where possible I want to be able to preempt him before he does anything to me. And continue attacking him until he will absolutely not recover. So now he doesn't get a chance to show me what he can do. But if I fuck up for whatever reason, and he gets the jump on me, then he'll start punching me in the head. If he catches me clean in the head, so in the jaw, anywhere along the angle of the jawbone, to the sides of the temple, he'll knock me out like anybody else, because anybody can be knocked out. So it's very important that you protect your head. And you protect your head by framing it. So forget traditional bollocks in martial art where they say a punch comes and then you're supposed to block it. Action will always beat reaction. The best chance you've got is covering your head very quickly in a very generic way and then bringing the fight back to you. So that's where we're going with it. So to get a feel of that first, all you want to do is put on a pair of boxing gloves, and you're going to put on a pair of boxing gloves, both of you, and just get a little bit of inoculation to hands coming at you, right? So all you're going to do literally is he's going to throw some shots to your body and to your head at about 50%. And you're literally going to stand there using this framework and just cover, just to feel what it feels like to get hit. You're both going to have boxing gloves, so you're going to use the principle of I go, you go. So he'll go for 10 seconds while I'm doing this and covering him up, getting familiar with getting hit, and then I'll do it and he'll cover. Right? When you cover, take both hands and place them on the top of your head. And just frame your head nice and tight like you're holding it. So keep square, bite down and drop your chin. Make sure that you look from your eyebrows, you don't just look at the floor. Frame your head tight and watch his hips. And you'll see the body mechanic of his hips moving left and right. That's your cue to keep this covered or this covered. If he hits him high, keep it high. And if he throws a low shot, drop it if you can to stop yourself from getting hit. You're just getting used to a little bit of impact to get you out of that feeling of being a bit squeamish about hands coming to your face, if you are like that, right? So basically you're here, and you're here. You're going to stay as if you were belted together. He's going to just cover your head with your boxing gloves, you know, a crazy monkey, right? Just keep moving the whole structure. So look, hands here, look. And just keep moving it. As you cross it, you need to cover this as well. You go 10 seconds, then you'll go 10 seconds. Nice and easy to get into it. Ready? So go. Body as well. Work it. Cover that. That's it. No harder than that. Good. Right now, you go. Go tighten up a bit. That's it. Good. And top. Right. So I go. You go. Right. When you're working with a partner, because there's differing levels, somebody who's never done anything before, that would be quite daunting. So start light and easy, get the person inoculated gradually, and then pick it up as you're both comfortable. It's not about me hitting you and you not hitting me and vice versa. It's about me giving you an onslaught, you getting familiar, and then you giving it back to me. So it's about getting desensitized to shots coming at your head. Because anybody that practices martial art, particularly traditional martial art, don't make any contact. They pull something down in white pyjamas, punch in the air, but they never feel anything. It's only when you go to the sports, to boxing or Thai boxing or something like that, combat orientated, where now you're familiar with getting hit and you can also throw a shot. You're familiar with getting manhandled and you can also manhandle somebody else. Being desensitized to contact is an essential requirement. Do you understand? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Right, so you're going to get with a partner. You can use a wall if you want, and you're going to go on mine with oh, look at me, look at me. Change. Put aside straight away. Body as well, don't forget the body. Change. Straight away. One more, change. The only reason we started with that is just to get everyone on the same page with what we're doing. So what we're looking at is a counter-offensive dynamic. So what I said to you in the beginning is your best chance for successful use of force is offensive. Bring it to him. Do something to him before he does something to you. But that's not always possible. If he actually manages to cook off on you before you do something, or you had no attention of him by talking and he's just come out the corner of your eye because you had no awareness, then he's attacking you and you're reacting. Reaction is always inferior to being proactive. Do you agree with that? Yeah. Because action always beats reaction. But you have to have a contingency plan nonetheless, right? So let's look at the dynamics of how somebody hits somebody in the street. It's relatively the same movement, whether it's armed or unarmed. So if you look at 90% of the population right-handed, and you look at this person here getting a problem from this person, then say your hands are here and you're just trying to de-escalate and I'm aggressive. If, regardless of whether I'm trained or untrained, there's a good chance I'm going to go with my dominant hand when I hit him. Do you agree? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's a good chance I'm either going to throw a right cross or a right hook, or I might precede it with something else, but I'm going to punch him in the head. So a big shot in the head, a big right hand is coming sort of this kind of trajectory around. It could be pulled right back, it could be windmilled in, or it could be very tight and non-telegraphic. But there's a good chance that this hand, during his conversation, is going to make its way there. Yeah? So the first thing I want to look at is how do I deal with a big right hand? It might be that I grab him and just right hand him repeatedly. Or it might be that I shove him and then just hit him left and right continuously. The commonality of all is, I'm going to punch him in the fucking head. So what you need to do is have a method of dealing with that. So if you look at this structure that you just employed, now let's kind of make it smaller and look at how we can use it. So in the street you want to work from a non-aggressive position. So a non-aggressive position such as this looks unobtrusive. So if there's a witness, third-party observation, CCTV, if you're seen doing this and there's no audio, he looks like the aggressor and I look like I'm trying to chill him the fuck out, right? Yeah. But if you look at the tactical presence that this has, it's not different from this. It's a platform. My hands are up, I'm prepared, I can launch to his head, and I could cover. The only difference is, this looks aggressive, and this looks non-aggressive. Yeah? So I'm trying to work from this position. If he throws a big right hand at me at some point during that, then really I deserve to get hit if I didn't see it coming. Right? I've got my hands halfway towards framing my head. If we both start hands down, and he hits me before I can get my hands up, I'm getting cold cocked. But the whole reason that my hands are up in the first place is because in this situation I have an inclination that he could kick off. And as soon as my hands are up, he's lined up with a preemptive strike, which is offensive mentality. That's my primary. But just as a contingency plan, because if anything goes wrong, because anything that can go fucking wrong will, if he throws any shot at my head, boom, this will cover me. If he tries to jump into that head, boom, this will cover me. Do you understand? So this cover in combatives is a generic one-size t-shirt that fits most. That makes sense? Yeah. We're going to do from this position where you are now, keep your hands here, take a step, and frame your head nice and solid. That's what we're going to do, right? So I just want you to do that to my count. You ready? Here. 1, and back. Good. 1 more. 2. Right, this principle, well, the first part of it is called cover. Cover your head. So now if he hits me, he's hitting this structure and not what he can knock me out with. The other part of this principle is crash. Crash in. So if he hits me with the trajectory of a punch, it's going to have most power, momentum and velocity and impact at the end. So if I stay here and cover at the end, he's still going to rock me, and I'll put him in range for the second punch, and the third punch, and the fourth punch. So moving back is not a good fucking idea. But when someone's attacking you, it's counterintuitive to walk forward. Because instinctively we don't want to get away from danger, we don't want to move towards it. But tactically the best thing I can do is go forward. So when he throws this shot, I will hit inside the arc of it. So it's behind me, right? So when he throws this big right hand, I'm like this. This structure now, because it's up point, is offensive. It's hitting him. So he's throwing his shot like he's just running to the end of a scaffold pole. Yeah? Very uncomfortable for him. So the principle is that we're looking at is cover, crash, give me the shot, boom, here, and then now I counter from here. Understand? Yeah. So I want to give you this principle, cut up, crash, counter. And we're going to look at it in a big right hand. We're going to look at it if the attack was a blade slashing. We're going to look at it if the attack was half a brick or a bottle. And we're going to look at it if the attack was a longer stick-like weapon. Commonality to dealing with all of those is this motion. Do you understand? Yeah. Right, before we do it, we're going to grab that small shield. You're going to get with a partner and take a shield like this. First, you're going to practice the tools. So you're going to take this pad, put it square to your body. All right? This motion that I asked you to employ coming forward, I want you to think about it offensively. So I want you to think of it as me spearing my elbow into his chest. All right? So the first part is we're going to practice this spearing cover. The first thing I'm going to do, step, drive this in. Here, drive this in. Nice and tight, drive this in, right? From there, I'm going to gain an attachment to him and then counter, which would be my elbow. So we're just going to hold on and throw an elbow, right? So I'm going to break this down, spike, attach, elbow. And from there I will clinch, put him on the ground and move. So we're going with it, spear and elbow to elbow strike. Then we're grabbing and then we're kneeing. These are the tools that we need for the counter part of cover, crash, counter. So we're going to isolate them first, yes? Yeah. So you get 2 lines, partner with a shield. 1. Good. That's it, perfect. And back. Again. 2. So understand range. Most confrontational situations in the street will happen from less than 2 feet. This is conversation range. This is where all human interaction takes place, including violence. This is where we shake hands and meet and greet. This is where we interact most of our lives. We don't usually have an argument from right across the fucking street, do we? It's usually right here. If it's not here, then it's in your face. It's this. And if it's in your face, that's usually dictated by ego or environment. So a really loud, noisy, packed nightclub, the amount of conversation from me is here. It's this. Right? So this range is defined as close quarters and extreme close quarters. So if you look at this is where the fight dynamic takes place, and then look at combat sport or martial art, you can see that the majority of match fight dynamics start from here. 3 feet. Well, I've got 3 feet, you've got 3 feet. Now we can kick and now we can do other things. But if you're having a fucking match fight in the street at nearly 50 fucking years old, you want to have a chat with yourself. So we're not really concerned with this dynamic. But what that should tell you is that the majority of stuff that you see in martial art, particularly kicking or anything else, ain't going to fucking work inside the confines of a phone box, is it? You've got to learn what works here, and what works here best, particularly this close range, is headbutts, elbows, knees, and biting. That's the fucking bread and butter of it. Get out and fucking bite from here, and don't think about anything else, right? But at this range, elbows and knees reign supreme, because they're your bludgeoning weapons. So in this position, I'm looking to slot this fucker in, pin this elbow, put it to sleep, and then finish whatever's left. So that's the dynamic we're employing. So where you've got to that is you spike in, so understand that if I was to spike in, if I'm knocking 3 feet, well, there's a good chance now I'm legging, I'm running. Or if I had to close this distance, well now I could tie kick him in the leg. But imagine this was in the confines of an elevator. When I slam this, he's only moving a few inches, but now he's still within range, isn't he? So that's what we're down there. So you just spike, then you grab an elbow. Now from this elbow, you attach to the neck. And from here, holding this lower, put this to take his base. Right. If you take his base like that, your cheek, then you will at least hit him forward, which now gives you the back of the head as a target. This is what you would have. So this is this down. Back of the head, the brain stem, is the computer. This is what you want to shut off to disrupt consciousness, right? As far as we're going is this. Spike, grab, elbow, grab him, put him in one, and then 2 knees. On the second knee, use momentum, put him on the floor. Simulate, pushing your ankle, and then get off the X. Understand the drill? So all we're adding now to what you just did is the knee. Yes, so I want you to switch the pad again. You can go to the knee part, right? So if you think about where this situation has just started, you ain't started this. You know, if you could have left, you would have. If you could have talked it down, you would have. If you're trying to talk to the guy, he's not having it. You go to the room and he steps, and now he's aggressive. Now you've got 2 choices. You can wait until he kicks off at you and be the anvil while he beats the fuck out of you and try and recover. Or you can know it's inevitable and be the hammer and go fucking fast. Well, I suggest to you that you go fast. That's why we understand pre-threat behaviour. So I know if this guy's 2 feet from me going off, he's just noise. But if he gets close and shifts his way or hides his hand in some way or glances at that bottle before he goes to pick it up, he's going to attack. So you would be pre-assaultive on that cue, ideally. Do you understand? Yeah. In which case then, you're on the X, which he's put you. He's put you on the X, which is the place of danger. As soon as you put this fucker down and the threat subsides, you need to get off the X. So train how you operate. Don't put the partner on the floor and then go, oh, you're all right. You know? Get fucking gone. Seriously. Yeah. If you do that to someone coming in the street, oh, you're all right. Well, good chance now he's already pulled the weapon and his mate's already jumped in. So you've got to get off the X as quickly as possible. So as soon as you put this fucker down, get gone. Stand, turn your head. Look, you'd be tunnel vision. Move towards the exit. Practice tactical escape. Otherwise it won't come out. Go! Good. Good. Go! Good. You know it. You all should know it. So you drill it till you know it. Then you drill it till you own it. If you own it, as he should, and he should, then straight off the bat from your first rep, you do it physically and emotionally the way you would do it. There's no fucking warm-up. There's no 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It's boom, 10. You've got to access 10 in your head and access 10 in the physical dynamic. So as soon as you do it, if you know it, you do it full speed. So you just want to spike, grab, 2 elbows, 2 knees, snatch, stomp, get gone. Right? You do 1 rep. With it. Go! Right, good. So that dynamic took between 3 to 5 seconds, which is the time frame of a real fight. That's how quick it's done. If this person had been the predatory dynamic coming at him and he wasn't as clued up to see it and put his hands up, then that physical dynamic would have been done by him to him in that time. Do you understand? What we're working off the idea is that he wasn't preemptive. And when this guy came here with this shield structure which we're practicing impact on, he did in fact come to him with a Stanley knife or a punch or half a brick or whatever else. He was attacking, as you're going to be in a minute. And his response was to crash and cover inside. Understand, if you're caught that way, with limited intel, and you manage to get this default startle response out, which is what it is, in that time frame you will feel shocked. You know, your amygdala is seeing danger, your heart rate is just escalated massively, you are feeling the effects of adrenaline, and you are very fast becoming no longer cognitive. So understand, if you end up in shock, which is what I'm going to give you now, there's only one way to break freeze. You've got to hit the gun. You've got to attack immediately. You've got to take action. You've got to use the adrenaline. So I want you to recognise that if this guy suddenly imposed his will, run at me, throwing something in my head, and I had to do that, in that moment, I would be shocked. The only way to break freeze now is to stay where I am, tactical position, get a hold of him and beat the fuck out of him. And this is how you would do it. Understand? Right, so, one more. Every time you do it full speed. Ready? Go! And get off the X. Right? Think of it this way. 5 seconds. Get this done in 5. Understand? 2 elements associated to that. Impact is hitting hard and efficiently, that's the physical part. But primarily, attitude. He's doing it like his life depended on it. Because it probably did. Do you understand? There's no front without a back. In combatives, 90% is attitude. 10% is skill. If you don't like training with aggression, you can go somewhere else. Go to Krav Maga, go to fucking self-defense, reality-based, whatever. Go somewhere else. But combatives is at the extreme end of the self-protection scale. And it's designed for dealing with real threat to life. So a level 10 threat. So this is not how you take care of fucking some pisshead at the pub that's just looking at you funny. You're talking about some crackhead with a screwdriver who wants to fucking end you. You're talking about multiple assailants, 2 of them are armed. You're talking about a larger aggressive male against a smaller woman. There's a disparity, which means if I fuck this up, you could kill me by mistake. So there's an offering of potentially deadly force. If somebody pulls a tool to you, they're offering you deadly force. If 3 guys come towards you to give you a kicking, they're offering you deadly force. Because the disparity against you is high. You're facing what's called a level 10 threat. So what you need in a response is a level 10 response. If at any point during that, if I'd have spiked him with the elbow and he'd have dropped immediately, I wouldn't have elbowed him and kneed him. It wouldn't have been necessary. But if I spike him and elbow him and he drops immediately, I probably wouldn't have kneed him snatched. But you've got to train to go over the edge. Hopefully you will never need to go over the edge. But if you do need to go over the edge, you're where you need to be. Does that make sense? So it's better to train to go over the edge and never need it than need it and have never trained for it. So the idea of exploding through somebody and keep attacking until they are down and no longer moving is what we call a level 10 response. And that's what you're developing. Do you understand? Yeah. And the other counterpart of that is attitude. The attitude drives it. You can't do that like that non-aggressive. So you have to summon that, that preconditioned fury that you should have. Every one of those shots should have a fuck you on the end of it. Does that make sense? Yeah. Right, show me that. You just had that your own way. You just spin it in, hit with an elbow, knee him and put him on the floor. That's a proactive dynamic. It will work proactively, efficiently, really well. Back in door days, a lot of people would use this kind of spearing cover because it looks like they were flinching. So I remember one guy that used to do it, who was a friend of somebody else I knew, and he would literally just chop and cover his head. Like that, like he was, whoa! And then from here, boom, he hit him. Really deceptive. And when he was like questioning about it afterwards, he goes, I fucking thought he was going to pull something on me, I thought he was going to hit me. Because it looks very unobtrusive. Do you understand? Yeah. The way we're doing it doesn't become unobtrusive because I'm just exploding through him. Right? But this spearing elbow into the chest structure will deflate lungs, which will disrupt breathing. So if you can't breathe, you can't fight. Do you understand? This elbow into the side of the neck will drop his blood pressure, or if I hit his jawbone, I'll shake his brain. That will disrupt consciousness. If I knee him in the groin, or I put his testicles in his tonsils, I will again disrupt breathing, and I'll destroy his mobility. So I'm attacking on 3 levels here. I'm attacking his fucking breathing, his consciousness, his mobility, and I'm taking his will to continue. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. It's as much emotional as it is physical. So now let's apply that as a counter-offensive dynamic. So if we look at the trajectory of this fist, that's coming here to that jaw, right? That really ain't much different. You have this blade, and that was coming to the side of the neck. It's still the same distance. Yeah? Pretty much stays the same. If he was going to hit me in the head with that brick, yeah, same trajectory. Or this bottle, it's the same motion. So the same commonality to all of those is don't stay here. Right, same commonality is it's coming in this way. So get familiar with which way it's coming. So it doesn't matter if it's a punch, a standing blade, half a brick or a bottle. The line is the same. The only thing that's different is the tool or the weapon or the drill bit. In all cases then, if he was going to say slam this bottle as it is, round my nut, big like that, the worst place I could be is here. Even if I covered it up, here I'm still getting fucked up. If I do nothing else and I just get inside the arc, then the weapon's behind me. And if it's behind me, it's redundant. So I want to combine the two. I want the cover with the crash inside. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right, what is the difference between hitting me with half a brick and this simulated expandable baton?
Range.
Or length. Length is the difference, isn't it? So that ends there, where this continues another foot, doesn't it? Somebody knows how to use a stick, they'll keep you out and use the length of it, because I want to hit you with part of the end. Anyone knows how to use a, in fact, what do they do that? But a lot of people you see, they get in the car with a tire on, they come right over here and then they just hit you in the head with it. So they're not using it the way they should use it. But there again, it's no less dangerous. But the key thing is here, if he hits me with that, and I just cover and crash in, I'm still going to get hit. So there's a need with a longer length of weapon, to baseball bat or whatever else, to instead of cover and crash in, I have to bolt in. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But the principle's exactly the fucking same. So there's a video going around where some guy's running at a bike top, fully kicked bike top, with a long machete. And he's running at him like this, and mate's going, moving back. Why do you think he's moving back?
Scared.
Because he's scared. So what does that tell you? It tells you that to move back away from the source of agitation and danger is the natural instinct. Here's what happens to him. He trips and falls down, the guy gets over the top of him and cuts him to fucking pieces. That's what happened. Because he stayed where the weapon was most dangerous. Counterintuitive to when that's coming to the opposite way. But it works really, really well. And tactical sense is the only thing you can do. So you need to drill it under stress. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right? So what we're going to do is we're going to just have a little play. We don't have to work hard now, or work long, or work too arduous. We're going to take one of these padded tools which replicate a knife. And I want you to recognise the trajectory with the slashing the side of my neck. And I want you to understand that the possible consequences of that would be you'd open internal external carotid, you're bleeding out under arterial pressure, and very soon you will die. Do you understand? So you don't want that, right? So what you want to do is cover that structure that he wants to hit, but now when he throws that shot, you want to just get inside the arc, like this, and I want him to feel that, right? So he's just going to throw that, get inside the arc. For me now, I drag this upward, and put him over, and take him out the fucking game. But I want you to see where this cover, crash, counter principle applies to if somebody hits you with a punch, to somebody tries to cut you with a blade, or to if somebody tries to hit you with a bottle. Right?
Yeah.
So you're going to take a knife, a bottle, and a stick, and you're also going to take a boxing glove. Just going to work the right side. And we're going to do nice and slow and throw a shoulder and cover. We're going to get that down. And when he throws again, I'm going to cover and we'll wrap it. We get a feel of what it feels like it's holding tight. We'll pinch this in here. It's going to be a little struggle. And I'm just going to make sure I maintain a grip of it. For me, I'm going to put it in 1, 2, finish this. You understand? You're going to work against simulated knife, simulated bottle, stick, and also the boxing glove. Yes?
Yeah.
Get your partner. Good. Next one in. Next one is the stick. Or the blade, whatever. Whenever you're ready. Good. Last one is the stick. What's the need to do now? Cover twice the distance, yes.
Fuck you.
Good. All the point of the lesson was we were looking at this cover. Cover, crash, counter. You'll notice how it's a really non-diagnostic response to dealing with an assault. Because it doesn't matter if he hits me with a straight punch, left or right, overhand or uppercut or whatever else, I just know something's coming at my head and I need to cover it. Doesn't matter if he slashes me this way, this way, this way or this way, or the slash getting inside, the principle's the same. We don't want to get outside the arc or inside the arc of the weapon. If it's a stick-like structure, it's the same deal. Cover, crash in. Commonality to all, it's counterintuitive to go forward. That's why you must drill it under pressure. You understand? So the point of the lesson simply was counter-offensive. If somebody jumps the gun on you, not the fucking ideal, this should be your immediate contingency plan. Regardless of what he does, whether he tries to grab you, put you in a headlock, just headbutt you, anything. If he's coming forward with something, frame yourself like a fucking rhino, and just crash through the centre of his body. It's a good strategy. Understand?
Yeah. Yes.
Good? Right.